We still have another issue that we're going to discuss. We have, of recent, the federal government announces a state of emergency on food security. And I have with me a former chairman of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry Agri Sector and the CEO, Bama Farms, Prince Wale Oyekoya, to look at the security of food in Nigeria and how implementable this will be. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Nice for having me.
Federal government has already declared the state of emergency. How do you see this declaration? Is it late or we are still on track?
It's better to be late than never. And this is what we have been talking about since 2015 when the past regime of President Buhari was in the government, that with the way the agri sector is going in this country, we need to declare a state of emergency, because the growth for agricultural sector in this country have been really going down. Right now, we are growing like about 2%, not even more than 3%. And the government have not been able to achieve what the Maputo Agreement already said during the President Obasanjo's regime, that 10% of our GDP should be allocated to the agricultural sector. And I believe from that, I don't think we ever go beyond 3.5% of our budget. And this has really affected the production of our produce. And when you talk of production, is the main line, not the service providers. But without the production, there's nothing for the service provider to provide to the masses. And there are so many problems that is attributed to the food security, which is why the President Tinubu was able to declare state of emergency. He is very courageous and very bold. And with the political will, I believe it is doable. The problem of agricultural sector does not just started recently. It has been there for so long. It started from the allocation of land. We have to understand that 1978 Land Use Act relies on the state government to allocate lands to people. They can do and undo. It's not even within the federal government purview to allocate land. That is why the federal government wanted to go to the states and get about 500,000 hectares. So many things have been happening that when the state government even give you land, did they give you title for you to be able to go to the bank and get some loan? What about the security, which is the most important? We keep on hammering on the federal government on security. What about the state government? I believe most of the state governments, especially the governors, were giving security votes, ranging from 500 million close to $1 billion every month for most of the, depending on the state. What have they been doing with all these security votes? Are they using the money for the security of their citizens, or they are just using the money for their pockets? It has been happening everywhere, especially in Lagos State and Ogun State, and everywhere in Northeast now. Even the North Central, the land grabbers, they are having field days on farmers. Not to talk of the headers, not to talk of the internal clashes. So these are the problem of the state governors to solve. When you give lands to people to farm, and the money or the land grabbers come and disturb you, it's not left for you to provide security for those farmers. Why are you going to allocate lands for people and the money will come behind? Is it that you have not been able to compensate these people, or they are just touts that you need to really check? And all these things affect the food production in the country. Not only that, what about the storage facilities? Not all farmers of today can provide storage facilities. It has to be done by the government to provide for each local government or senatorial district that whenever a farmer is able to produce and you wanted to store your produce in order to avoid the spoilage, the government should provide that. Not only dry grain silos, what about cold rooms for something like perishable items like the vegetables. All these things has not been done.
But if all these things has not been done,
yes,
then how will you rate the former CBN's anchor boroughs issue on agriculture? We have state like Kebbi going to rise, and we have Lagos State partnering. All these things is what we saw at that time. Then what's your take on it? What is your assessment of that?
To me, some of all these things they are saying are nothing but cosmetics. We don't put in consideration the population that is growing plus minus about 10% every year. Our population is over 200 million, and you are providing food for maybe like about 70 million. These are the problems we are having. Okay, yeah, the alcohol brewers. It's a very good initiative. We have so many, some of these funds, which we call intervention funds.
Yes.
But does it really get to the hands of the real farmers? That is the problem we've been having for over 20 years in this country. See, once these funds come, who approved most of these funds? Is it not the National Assembly?
Yes.
They already seen it as a free money for the boys. They will be able to corner it on top before you even get down to the real farmer that really need this money. And this money is supposed to go through Bank of Agriculture. Why do we have Bank of Agriculture? Why should be the CBN dispersing money? This is where the corruptions come from.
Now, in your view now, what will be your advice on this state of emergency that has been declared on food security? How are we going to achieve it, implement it, and get...
It has to be done holistically by inviting all the stakeholders. And from what I've been saying, I don't think real farmers or real farmers association of the country have been called to the table to determine how this thing is going to take place. As I said, there are so many myriads of problems, and it could only be solved when everybody was seated, not just the politician that does not know anything about farmers. Because I can understand that most of the National Assembly members now, some of them are going to become emergency farmers because they know that some funds are coming. And that's why I'm of the opinion that even the 8,000 palliative they said they are giving to people, it's going to go down the drain the same way have gone down the drain during the COVID-19 when 10,000 was alleged to have been paid to some people where 100 billions was supposed to have spent. How many people benefited? And we remember the former vice president also going through the markets, giving money to the people in the markets. How many people really benefited? So the same thing is going to happen to this 8,000 naira. To me, everybody in Nigeria are very vulnerable now, because if you are buying a fuel of 10,000 to your car before, now you are spending 30,000. Are you not vulnerable? And based on what you have just said, is the National Assembly, our lawmakers, are they vulnerable? Yeah. When they are making about 8.5 million naira every month, and at the same time they are the first people to be considered. So there's a problem.
Now, your take home now, what will be your last statement?
My last statement is that the CBN should not be the one to share this money, should be able to go through the Bank of Industries. And at the same time, we have data of all farmers in this country. I believe the government knows them. If they don't know them, let them register, and not just collecting data from farmers. At the same time, nothing come out of it.
Thank you very much, Prince. That has been a discussion on state of emergency. I will now leave you with Kende Adiaga, who is going to give us the stock market report and the activities of what we should be expecting on the floor today. Kende, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. The market breadth yesterday was positive, considering the fact that some big stocks appreciated in price. And so, for instance, the market yesterday closed at 710 million shares being traded, valued at 13.83 billion naira, exchanged in 8,979 deals. This was largely driven by activities in the shares of Fidelity Bank, Unilever, Sterling Bank, Ecobank, and FBN. And of course, the index appreciated by 60% to close the market index at 62,943.35 basis points, while the market capitalization closed at 34.27 trillion naira against the previous close of 34.1 trillion naira. The market recorded 42 gainers as against 28 losers, and the gainers are Fidelity Bank appreciating by 10%, the maximum, Unilever appreciated by 10%, Sterling Bank appreciated by 9.97%, Ecobank appreciating by 9.84%, and FBN Holdings PLC appreciated by 9.81%. And from the losers table, we have Union Bank topping the table with a price depreciation of depreciating by 10%. Nigerian breweries depreciated by 5.13%. NASCOM went down by 3.74%. Dangote Sugar by 3.10%. And Flour Mills PLC dropping by 1.96%. These were the figures from the market yesterday. Hopefully, with this development, the market is expected to experience some kind of appreciation this week, since the market opened on a positive note.
Thank you very much, Kende Adiaga, for that insight. I want to appreciate everyone that has joined us, and once again, apologize for that short break in transmission when we started. I want to thank you, sir, for coming on board. I want to appreciate Mrs. Morenike Babintina Shai, who also joined us via Zoom. I will now leave you to Kenny to continue with the program. Thank you.